And welcome to the Sunday special with your host, Rapid Dave. We got a Rangers Roundup is what we're doing tonight. This is audio only. You can find this wherever you stream your podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you enjoy and stream your podcast. So normally this is a Sunday special where I'll sit back and have a nice little cold craft beer from a local brewery. But not only are we going to do that, but we're going to talk about Rangers baseball. Baseball's back, baby. The season opener was this past Thursday, and the Rangers swept. They got to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. But before that, before we go any further, let's go ahead and talk about this beer. Martin House Brewing Astronaut Apocalypse. This is an Imperial Stout with coconut. Made in Texas by Texans. It's a little bit heavy. 12% alcohol by volume. But let's get to it, all right? There we go. Oh, that's very nice. The coconut complements it very well. And as we sip on this, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I don't know if you've watched all three games, but I'll say this. I've never been able to watch so much Rangers baseball on nationally televised channels. It was on Fox, our local channel here, Fox, but I also caught the Sunday night game on ESPN. Usually you have to have Bally's to watch any of these games. And I'm like, I go crazy every single year because I don't have Bally's, nor do I want to pay the money for Bally's. Back in the day, you'd fire up channel 21 or 27 through an antenna or your basic cable, and you could watch the Stars, the Rangers, the Mavs. Obviously you're going to watch the Cowboys. They're going to be on CBS. But this year, it's starting off phenomenal. Like I said, the Rangers opened a 3-game set, little series to start the season. They had played on Thursday, they played Saturday, and they just played today on Sunday. And they swept the Phillies. I mean, they're putting up some runs. So the Thursday game was 11-7. Then you got Saturday night, 16-3. I mean, the bats are out. Then tonight was a close one, though. Nice little pitching duel, good defense, not a lot of hits. You're looking 2-1. So there you go. And tomorrow, they're still at home. They're going to have a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. It's going to go from, like I said, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, if you're into day games, that's what Wednesday is. Wednesday, April 5th, 1:05 p.m. pitch. It's going to be awesome. I love the day game, right? It's so much fun. So if you get out there, and then, of course, after that, on Friday, they'll be heading up to Chicago. They got a 3-game series up there. Then they head back home against the Royals. So I know what you're thinking. Well, they won 3 games. I mean, they're 3-0. I don't want to get a little too excited. But when they answer the phone on Monday morning, they're going to say, first place, Texas Rangers, how can I help you? They are 3-0. The Angels are 2-1. Stros are 2-2. Athletics are 1-2. Mariners are 1-3. So right out of the gate, now, is it a tough team? Are the Phillies a tough team this year? I don't know. They're usually pretty just solid. I'll say that. But the hitting's been looking good. The defense is looking good. Today, I did notice a couple things in the stadium. Let me go ahead and take a sip before we go any further. I'm getting a little parched. This is definitely a sipping beer, especially sitting at 12%. And as the tornado warnings roll through, the thunderstorms, we've had a couple showers today. I almost want to be out back around the fire, just enjoying my evening. It's getting a little bit cooler. Now, if you're listening to this on Monday morning, I got bad news. You got a high of 95 tomorrow in the DFW Metroplex. Not excited. But don't worry. It'll be a high of 60 in 4 days. But the Rangers are absolutely killing it. They look good. Pitching looks good. There are some concerns, and I saw that Saturday in right field. I don't know if because they had the roof open, but every ball that was shot to right field went over, I can't think of name of his head. And it was, I sent a text out to the boys. I was like, hey, is Nelson Cruz back in right field? No disrespect to Nelson Cruz, because I loved Nelson Cruz when he was here. But, everybody flashes back to 2010, 2011, And just, oh, gosh, terrible, 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 terrible. Anyway, so, yeah, they dominate, essentially, this series, and they got the Orioles. Orioles themselves just finished up with the Boston Red Sox. Now, they were on opening day, Thursday. It was a hell of a game. 10-9. Red Sox almost came back and won that game because the Orioles were firmly in place. And then the Orioles the next day, they lost the Sox 9-8 and then lost 9-5. The Orioles are putting up pretty good numbers. So it's going to be an interesting series. It's going to be super short. It's only 3 games. But, I mean, you can't say, oh, yeah, the Orioles are a great team either. So, you're kind of working your way into the season. And as I mentioned, you're going to be going to I think the next test is the Cubs. I don't think the Orioles are going to pose too much of a problem. Rangers are going to be at home, but you're going to have your first road games, and it's going to be against the Cubs. The Royals, I think, they're up next, but the Rangers are back at home. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Friday, April 14th through Sunday, April 16th, the Rangers are on the road. They're going down to Houston, folks. The most hostile. I mean, not the most hostile. It's an in-state rivalry, right? And now, obviously, with them being in the AL West, it's a rival. American League, AL West, little issue there. Man, I just can't stand it. I can't stand Astro fans. They're tough to deal with. But I don't know if it's any worse than, say, they got to go to New York, right, to play the Yankees. I almost put those on the same level. The Yankees and the Stros, as far as hostile environments. So, but then they get I'm not saying it's another layup. We'll see how the story goes. Then you got the Royals. So, but the Rangers are hitting. You got Mitch Carver. He's got a 1.786 OPS, and he's not alone. When you look at OPS, oh, man, well, I don't know what I just clicked. I clicked on something here, and it's not great. It's not great. Robbie Grossman, that's who the right fielder was that it went over his head I don't know how many effing times. He was losing the ball in the sun, whatnot. It says he's got a 1.34. I mean, you got guys with OPS, and the slugging percentages are looking good. I know it's 3 games in. I know it. But you got some guys hitting 455, 444, 364. Seager's at 364. Adolis Garcia is at 455. Obviously, with baseball, it's a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. And I've been so caught up with fantasy baseball that I don't even know what to do. I'm looking at my lineup every single day. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even have pitchers pitching this day. I don't have players playing this day. I'm just lost. I'm always lost. But I'll tell you what, the Rangers are looking good right out of the gate. I just hope they can keep the momentum, right? Keep the hitting alive. Just keep going. Keep going forward. And obviously the pitching's not bad. That's always been one of the biggest issues with pitching for the Rangers. The last time they had solid, very solid pitching, they went to the World Series back-to-back years. So this Sunday show, I'm going to put some effort into it. I hope to show up every Sunday, and then I'll release it probably Monday morning. This isn't a live show. There's no video. You can only catch this wherever you stream your podcast. I refuse to turn on the camera these days. But I want you to know that I'm here, and I hope that you're listening. And I am super excited of the potential that the Rangers have this year. And I hope that I get to watch more and more games without having to subscribe to a third-party service. Because that's all I want to sit down and watch a Rangers game. I have MLB TV, but since I live in Texas, they won't let me watch these games because they want me to subscribe to Bally's. I don't like watching Bally's, their production. I don't like watching their games. I don't like listen to their people. I don't want to hear it. So if you give me a national televised game on Fox, ESPN, anywhere else, and I'm watching. And I tell you what, I caught 2 out of 3 games, and I'm super excited. Now, will I get out of the house and go to a bar, local establishment to catch the game? Sure, I will. But everybody knows it's a long season. I just hope they can keep going, pressing forward, hitting, pitching, cohesion. I love the new rules. The games are all about, I think, 28 minutes shorter, if I'm not mistaken. But we're only 3 games in. You have both hitters and pitchers having clock violations. I like that they made the bases larger. They have rules as far as how many times you can throw it to first. They have rules as many times you can call timeout, things like that, back out of the box, or the catcher calls timeout, mound visits and everything like that. I think it just, in the last 10 years, it just got out of hand. Because games weren't that long back in the 90s, from what I remember. There wasn't, let me step out. I'm going to adjust my gloves. Pitcher steps off the rubber. They just stand there and just staring at each other. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Maybe making dinner plans with one another, just blinking so many times. Unbelievable. But now, with the pitch clock, just let's get the game moving, right? And most pitchers don't mind it, from what I can tell. Some of them are getting called for quick pitching. You know, MLB wants you to make eye contact with the hitter before the pitch is delivered. And so you have to look up with those loving eyes and just look them square in the eyes and be like, you know what? I'm going to strike you out. But yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, for me, everything else is going great. 3 games in. I like the new rules. I do like the no shift thing. All infielders must be on the dirt when the pitch is thrown. You can have 2 fielders to the left of second base, 2 fielders to the right of second base. I'm down. It looks like base stealing. There's a lot of action. I tell you what, it makes it tougher on the pitcher. It makes it tougher on the catcher. The catcher's got to get that ball out of his glove very quickly. These leads that some of these runners gets are huge. But watching it tonight, oh, boy, you got a good catcher behind the plate that's ready to spring up on one and just gun somebody out. I'm there for it. I am there for it. This beer's going down quite smooth. Quite smooth. All right, so we're going to look at home runs so far. Mitch Garver, catcher. He's got 2 home runs. Robbie Grossman has 1. Josh Jung's got 1. Brad Miller has 1. And Marcus Semien has 1. That's it. Everybody else is just getting hits or getting out. I do like a good moonshot every so often. Man. I was watching highlights on MLB TV. And just, from last year, grand slams or pinch hitters that's hitting one, you just get so excited. I think Aaron Judge is the first home run hitter of the year, if I'm not mistaken. He got up to the plate. The Yankees had an early game, and he just jacked one. He's like, welcome to 2023. But it was gone. Super gone. So just want to let you know, I hope to do this every Sunday for a quick little 15-minute chat. I probably won't go over 15 minutes, but I want to thank you for your time. I want to wish you a happy Monday, because that's when you're going to be listening to this. And then if we get together for Monday Night Madness with Alan and Rapper Dave, hey, you just get some bonus shows in there. But I am super jacked, super excited for the season and what the Rangers could do this year. Stay tuned, and we'll see if I can keep that same energy or if we just start fizzling out. Again, I'm having Martin House Brewing, Astronaut Apocalypse. It's an Imperial Stout with coconut, made in Texas by Texans, with a hefty 12% alcohol by volume. Go check them out. Not a sponsor. I just grabbed a local beer out of the fridge and started sipping on it. It's quite good. It's a nice sipper, as they say. The alcohol, the coconut kills kind of any type of alcohol burn and stuff like that. The stout, it's quite, I don't want to say creamy. It's quite good, though. Check them out, martinhousebrewing.com. And that's going to do it. Thank you so much for being a part of the first Rangers Roundup with your pal RD. I'll be around next Sunday. But catch out Strikeout Beard live Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Until next time, I'll see you.